What's going on YouTube? Q back here again with another video for you. Today's video is going to be titled, am I selling my ZL1 Camaro for the all new 2023 Ford Mustang Dark Horse? So in the last video I was at the 2020 North American International Auto Show that takes place every year in Detroit minus the pandemic, and I saw it and I had completely different impressions of it in person as I seen online, so completely changed my mind on it look wise, that is. So I'm about to talk about some of the details of the Dark Horse, some of the details of the Camaro, and give you my thoughts on whether I should sell or keep the ZL1 for the Dark Horse. So also, super update should be here by the end of the month, so should have a new car here end of October, early November, so that's coming. But before I jump into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, brother channel. Let's jump into it. Dark Horse Mustang and the ZL1 Camaro. So if you've never seen my channel before, going all the way back to the beginning, I tend to go between Mustangs and Camaros a lot. Started off with the GT, got a Camaro SS1 LE, had a GT350, and now I'm with this. So I actually had the GT350 and this at the same time, so got to weigh out the pros and cons. And the reason I'm bringing up the GT350 is because the Dark Horse will be somewhat similar. So there's another Mustang that's out right now, and I also heard that you can't order a GT500 anymore. Don't know if that's true or not, but if you wanted to order a 22 GT500, might be too late. Hopefully that's not true though. Back to what I was saying, there's a Mach 1 Mustang, which is the most track capable Mustang. So the GT350 was the track Mustang, and the GT500 kinda did even more than that. But as far as naturally aspirated engines go, the GT350 has a Voodoo 5.2 flat plane crank engine, and it made 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. The Dark Horse Mustang, and nothing set in stone yet, it's rumored to have 500 horsepower, so that puts it at about 20 more horsepower than what the current Mach 1 has. So the Mach 1 is kind of a Frankenstein vehicle. So it's got the Coyote engine, and it's got a lot of suspension bits from the GT350 and the GT500, and they were able to make that the fastest around track, so it outclassed the GT350. But the GT350, and this is where my thoughts go with that. So dude, these bugs, he following me. But GT350, naturally aspirated, fun car, didn't even have auto rev match, something that the GTs had. And the Dark Horse is rumored to have 500 horsepower, so it takes the horsepower up a notch, and it'll more than likely have a beefier power band than what the GT350 has, because the Coyotes just have more torque throughout the power band than the GT350. So the Dark Horse is said to be the new, most capable track Mustang that's naturally aspirated. So I'm hearing things about a Boss 302 or whatever Shelby brings. If they do a Shelby, I don't know, but as far as 5-liter goes, the Dark Horse is going to be it. So I saw it at the auto show, and even I was sharing things on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram, same name, Q the Chaotic. I was sharing on Instagram so I thought it looked a lot like the Camaro, and the side profile, dead on from the side, looks so similar to a Camaro. Like that's just true. But seeing the 7th gen Mustang in person, I don't think it looks like the Camaro as much as it does in pictures. Like, seeing it in person, it looks like more of the same. Looks like a 6th gen. Like, they're almost indistinguishable. So there's that. But definitely from the side on, which I didn't get a chance to just look at it dead on from the side, I didn't think Camaro at all in person, and it looks better in person. So this Dark Horse has this cool color. Hopefully that makes it to production. It's like a, I want to say like a blue jean type of color with like a gold undertone. Like, it has gold flake in it, so it's a multi-layered, like, just the color hits when the lights hit it a certain way. So it's like gold from underneath but blue on top. The blue looks like Mazda's Reflect blues. It's like a basic blue, but the gold undertone, that makes it look much nicer. It's not my type of blue. I don't like it, but I think it's an amazing blue. This is about the only blue I like, and like Papa Smurf type of blue, like a little bit deeper, Mexico blues and grabber blues, if you will, rapid blue. This Dark Horse, and it's going to come with the latest and greatest of the Mustangs. So customizable interiors, new screens, better powertrain, manual transmission still. And as you know, if you watch my channel, that's right up my alley. So will this Dark Horse be enough for me? Because I got too many cars to handle financially to handle another Mustang alongside with this. So I can't handle that. So I would have to sell something. The wife will not let that Blazer go, and she won't learn how to drive a manual. So, woo. But we got the Camaro right here. That would be the car. The Camaro would have to go to get the Dark Horse. Will I do that? Owning the GT350 alongside with this Camaro, the Camaro fit my taste more than the GT350. The GT350 is a fun car. Like, I don't want people to think that I hate the car. I just like this a little bit more. Like, they're in the same realm. The GT350, they both, it's kind of hard to have fun with both of those cars. Like, this has a lot of power, like too much power for a daily driver. And the GT350 has to be revved out too far to have fun as a daily driver. My cars are daily drivers. I'm not out here drag racing, stuff like that. The Dark Horse, the Coyote, it shines above the GT350's powertrain as a daily driver because you get access to more torque, lower in the RPM. GT350, I always say the party starts at 4,500 RPM. And then the Mustang GTs, the ones that are out now, it starts at like 3,500, which is a bit lower, and is more, it punches more down low than the GT350. But my gripe about that, because I like track capable cars. Do other people like track capable cars on the streets? Like, I'm driving all these track cars on the streets as a daily driver. But the GT350 made it doable because it's not a harsh suspension. The ZL1, this ZL1, the one that leads a different story. It has magnetic, they both have a version of magnetic suspension. This has magnetic ride control, the Mustang has MagneRide. The suspension on as is right now, I don't know about the Dark Horse. The only way that I would get out of a Camaro for a Dark Horse, and even on SS1 Elite terms, that suspension on the Mustang would have to be better. Like, that was the biggest downfall of it. And it's a track car. It's still great, but driving it as a daily driver, which I do every day, that was the low point to me. Like, the GT350 tramline like crazy. And there is a fix for that in the form of a mod. But out the box, just stock for stock, the Camaro handles better. The SS1 LE as well. Like, these are two track capable cars. They have like the same suspension, very similar suspensions. And the Dark Horse, it will have to take that MagneRide. That was the last one, was their first go at it. So hopefully they update the MagneRide so that suspension soaks up everything. Because GM, they were not playing around with this suspension. It is A1. So that Dark Horse will have to be that. It will have to be as good. If it's equal than this, then I would consider it. But I'm not trading in the ZL1 for a 5-liter Mustang. That's no. I feel like this Camaro is more special than that. They don't even go hand in hand. But the price, that's another thing. So the Mach 1, those things with the track package, they're going for in the 60s. And that's in the realm of where the GT350 was. Is the Mach 1 better or as good as the GT350? Performance wise, the Mach 1 does better, But the GT 350 is a more special car because it's a Shelby and it's got the flat plane crane. So that, not to talk down on the powertrain, but it's not enough for me to get out of the ZL1 to a dark horse. If I had a Camaro SS1 LE, I would strongly consider that, especially if the Camaro doesn't do a 7th gen, which we haven't seen anything, heard any prototypes. They said it's going to be an EV for 2024, which is when a new Camaro would be due. Lately, they've been coming out a year after the Mustang, so who knows? But I would consider that if I had, just on paper, because we haven't driven them yet, but Ford isn't going to mess this one up. So if it's like the GT Performance Pack, it'll be a great car. I would consider trading the SS1 LE for the dark horse. It's going to have 500 horsepower versus 455. Don't know what the torque is going to be, but the Coyotes tend to be lower on torque because the current GT is at 460 horsepower, but like 420 pound-feet of torque, or 426. I don't know if they revised it or not, but it's going to be down on torque, but it revs more. So that would be the only way I would consider trading any of these Camaros for a dark horse. Not to throw shade on it, because it's going to be a phenomenal car. It's not the value. I feel like the Camaro is a better value, because the base ZL1, if I didn't even go crazy with options like this as is. I got a couple carbon fiber options on here, red seat belts, and I came up to about 68,000. That dark horse will probably be, I'm estimating, low 60s, and that close for that big of a difference in performance is just, the value isn't there for me. Even for, if you bought a GT 350 new, going to a Mach 1 or a dark horse would, like, yeah, they'll outperform the GT 350, but you don't have the specialty of it, which kind of goes back to the video I did with Keith. I would consider going from this to a Z28, but doing that, I know I would be missing out on everything the ZL1 offers as far as the tech, how comfortable it is as a daily driver. The Z28 is like a bare bones stripped out track car, but I lust after that car though. 7-liter V8 LS7, I want that, but I just don't know. I keep going back and forth about it, and that car is way more rare, and that's what I'm talking about with these Mustangs. You go from having a, not to call a dark horse and Mach 1's common, but when you step up to the Shelbys, like, you will notice in the resale values, like anything underneath the Bullet and the last generation Mustang, depreciation hits on Mustangs until you get to the special ones. Especially Shelbys, they hold their values quite well for Mustangs compared to the other Mustangs. The Mustangs at one point were the pony cars that held their value the worst out of all of them. So there you go. Not to take anything away, but I got to see what a Shelby or a Boss would come out with, because I like the naturally aspirated cars and I like the track capable cars. So that's yet to be seen. Like, horsepower is getting so big. Like, will the GT500 even have a manual transmission? Current one doesn't. I doubt the new one does, because it's not even like I just said in here, 1-2 shift. It's not as engaging as a daily driver. You'll be breaking a lot of laws going in the third gear, like wide open throttle. So I'm liking the more engaging the drive cars, and a dark horse will be that. I just wouldn't give up this for one of those. But like I said, if they come through with a better magnetized suspension, I'm hearing it's going to be more customizable. Like, and they're doing some fun stuff with the infotainment. Like, you can get a Fox body Mustang cluster in digital in a new Mustang. I think that's pretty cool, and that's where Ford shines. They make stuff fun. Like, they know their customers well, and I think they're going. It's a home run, but I'm not coming out to ZL1 for a dark horse. As good as it is on paper, there's a lot to consider, like depreciation of these cars. I'm sitting positive on this car because I've ran my numbers and I know what I can get for that, between that range of 70 and 75. So that's right. Unlike the one comment right here, this guy said this, he was wrong. But that's where we are, not selling this. If a GT500 were to come out with the manual, and we'll pretty sure that'll be like the last manual muscle car, maybe. But I really enjoy this car still, and it's going to take something special to get me out of this. So there you have it. Keeping my ZL1, maybe a Z28. Still, let me know, because I'm posting this at the end of the video, and it's like 13% of people hang on this late in the video. So again, if you haven't commented before, let me know what you think. I want that car, and I think it'll hold its value. Like, I still have to worry about depreciation on this, but for right now, it's not a thing. Especially if you want one of these, like, you can almost not get one because they keep going on constraints. So I consider myself lucky to have gotten one of these in 22, and 2023 is worse, and the price increase too. There we have it. So shout out to Ford with the new Dark Horse Mustang. It'll be a great car, but this car sets the bar really high for me, and it's got to be something special to get me up out of it. So that's my opinion on it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm Q, checking out. Like, comment, subscribe. If I triggered you wearing this Ohio State jersey, sorry, not sorry. And I will check you all out in the next video. Peace out.